Hey everybody, it's Jackie from Vegan Yak Attack, and I'm back with another video for you. This one I'm pretty excited about because it's from my first cookbook, my first love, Vegan Bowl Attack. Now this book came out in July of 2016. The recipe is white bean beer fondue. I decided to bring this out because I haven't shared it anywhere else on the internet or in emails at all. The public does not have this, only people that have this book. But I thought it'd be really fun to bring out for Christmas parties, holiday parties, whatever. I really like just blending up a batch. It comes together so easily. Put it in a little crock pot, bring it to a party with you. People love this dip. And it's low in fat because it's white bean based, high in protein. There's a little bit of cashews in there for some added creaminess, but overall, really healthy cheese dip that satisfies many, many palates. Plus there's beer in it. Can you really go wrong with something with beer in it? Not really. That's from my opinion, not really. So let me take you through the ingredients right here. We have some white beans with their liquid. We have our non-dairy milk, nutritional yeast, cashews, tapioca starch. We have some vinegars, some garlic, Dijon mustard, salt, and some dippers, plus our beer. What we're gonna do is blend everything up first. You don't need a high-speed blender for this, but it helps. And if you don't, you'll just need to blend it a couple times. It's really not that big of a deal. So we're gonna take our white beans and pour those in there with the liquid. This kind of adds to like the gooiness of the cheese without it being actual cheese or being too high in fat. All right, beans in. Now we have a little bit of non-dairy milk. Use a soy-free non-dairy milk if you want to make the recipe completely soy-free. Just a little bit of that. Now we have our nutritional yeast, and if you don't know what this is, it's an inactive yeast, so it's dead. You wouldn't want to use it in baking or anything, and it has a really savory, nutty flavor to it that also has kind of a cheesy quality. I really like using this in a lot of my cheese sauces. It has some good flavor and adds a little bit more depth to stuff. So we'll put in some of that. Then I soaked some raw cashews, and you don't need to wait a couple hours to soak your cashews. I just covered these in boiling hot water for about 15 minutes and then drained them, and now they're nice and soaked. They're soft. So just a little bit, like I said, to add a little bit of thickness, richness to the sauce. And then we have our tapioca starch. And if you're not familiar with tapioca starch or tapioca flour, it's ground tapioca. It's a really great binder, and unlike cornstarch, it doesn't make things super gelatinous. It makes them like stringy and kind of stretchy. So I like using this in my cheese sauces because it adds a really nice texture to it, and it's really gonna get this sauce to like coat all the dippers that you dip in the fondue, like a really rich fondue should. So we'll add some of that, and you can find tapioca flour usually in any baking section of any store. It's pretty easy to find. And here I have two different vinegars. I have coconut vinegar, and coconut vinegar is a lot like raw apple cider vinegar, except that it's not as tart and sweet, so it's really good for giving acid to cheese sauces. And then I just have a little bit of apple cider vinegar to supplement it. But if you don't find coconut vinegar, I usually get it at Whole Foods or Sprouts or another, like Trader Joe's even has it now. If you don't have it, just use apple cider vinegar. It'll still be really good. Next, we have a couple cloves of garlic because I love garlic and it's just really good in there. Then we have some Dijon mustard, and this adds a little bit more acid to this cheese sauce for that sharpness. All right, and then we have salt. And I'm going to add this in now. Once it's cooked, we might need to add a little bit more because the flavor of salt usually dissipates a little bit once you heat it up. And last, but definitely not least, we have our beer. Now, I have here a Samuel Smith lager, which I really like Samuel Smith beers, and they're vegan. And if you didn't know that stuff could not be vegan, go on barnivore.com and make sure that your beer or liquor or wine does not use any animal products in its production or in the end product. Samuel Smith is good, we're clear, and I really like it. So I have that. A lager is really good in here, but I also have one of my favorite brown ales from Golden Road, and it's Get Up Off of That Brown, which is also vegan. I thought I'd do a little test and see which one I want to use in here more. The darker the beer, you want to be careful that it's not too sweet because it will, first of all, change the color of the cheese dip, but also it just might not make it as savory as you want it. So I'll try this brown. I mean, it smells good. Worst case scenario, I just drink this, right? Oh, that's so good. Okay. And we'll try some as lager. And this is gonna have a lighter flavor, so when it cooks, it's not a super beer in your face taste. So if you're not a huge fan of beer, try that one out. Let's see this. Oh man, this is tough. I think we're just gonna go with the lager. We're gonna go classic. It's a little bit lighter. Not as, if you don't like dark beers, you might not be into the amber, or somebody might eating the dip might not be into it. So we're just gonna go for this one. I need about a half cup. And if you look into it, usually a lot of alcohol cooks out of booze once you cook it, but not all of it. So look into that, research it a little bit yourself. And if you're not quite certain, you might want to, not feed it to kids. So double check the alcohol level, see what cooks out, see if you want to give it to kids. Now, we're just gonna blend this till it's very smooth. All right, let's check this texture a little bit here. Looks pretty smooth to me. And like I said, if you don't have a high-speed blender, you might just have to blend it a couple times. It's really not a big deal. Here, let's try this. Sorry to be making these noises, but it's good. It's good. I'm just gonna add a little bit more salt when we're towards the end of cooking it. But let me plug in my old school burner, which I used for the first time the other day. It was kind of amazing. I say burner, but it's a heating plate that you can use like a mini stove. All right, and we want it on medium heat. Oh my goodness, there we go. This thing actually heats up pretty quickly, so I'm pretty excited about it. We'll just pour this in. Make sure you get all of it. And actually, speaking of blenders, you can get a refurbished BlendTech. Ooh, excuse me, that beer got me. But you can get a refurbished BlendTech for a pretty affordable price, and their warranties are amazing. So I'm gonna link that in the description just in case you wanna check it out for Christmas or something. You know, I don't know, maybe a gift for you, a gift for your family. And now, we're gonna bring this to a really low simmer over medium heat. And this is gonna take a couple of minutes since I just turned this on, because we don't wanna bring it to a boil, it'll get too thick. We just want to get it hot enough to where the tapioca activates and it becomes that stretchy, gooey fondue that we want. And if you have a nonstick pan like this, I recommend using a silicone coated whisk. This way you can really get it so that it doesn't blob up and clump, but you're also not scratching your pan. And then if you have a metal pan, you can use a regular metal whisk. That should be fine. You just want to whisk it every like 30 seconds or so, because the starch will start hardening or thickening on the bottom. And you don't want it to turn into some kind of like weird, too textured fondue. That sounds kind of disgusting now that I'm saying it out loud. We have some bubbles rising to the surface. So probably another 2 minutes. All in all, you're probably gonna end up cooking this for like 5 to 7 minutes. So not counting ingredient prep, I mean, what? 2 minutes to blend maybe, and then 5 to 7 in a pan? It's so easy. It's almost laughable. Ooh, it's almost there. It's almost there. So we're just gonna cook it a little bit longer. And in a minute, we'll taste it. We'll see if we wanna add a little bit more beer, if we want a little bit of a stronger beer flavor now that some of it's cooked, if we want some more salt, like I said before, which would mean that I would need some salt right here, right? I'm gonna grab some really quick. All right, trusty salt. Oh yeah, look how thick that's getting. Ooh. You really wanna be able to like push it around the pan. Oh, I've got a little visitor. Bandit. He wants to say hi really quick, I think. Come here. Oh! Oh, hi, Bandit. Hi. He's like, there's so many cameras. Aw. Oh my goodness, what's that smell? I know. Okay, I'm gonna put you down. Ooh. All right. Ooh. I'm gonna turn this a little bit lower. You see it's really swishing around here, getting that nice thick coating. And like I said before, this is the white bean beer fondue out of Vegan Bowl Attack. That's my first cookbook. And I say first because my second cookbook, Vegan Yack Attack on the Go, is coming out in July of 2018. I'm really excited. It's more of a beginner cookbook. So many easy, convenient recipes in there. And honestly, both books are pretty amazing. I love them for their own reasons. So I'll include a pre-sale link for Vegan Yack Attack on the Go, since it is available for pre-sale now, with a price guarantee from Amazon in the description. I'll keep that link in there for you. All right, woo! I think we're done here. I think I can turn this off. Now, to plate it. And like I said before, if you're bringing it to a party, it's kind of nice to put it in like a small crock pot, maybe like double the recipe, so you can feed a lot of people. If you're just serving it at home, I like to put it in a little bowl on a platter with all the stuff around it. Like I said, add a little bit of salt, especially right before serving. That way it'll be a little stronger. Whisk that in. Just a splash of the lager that we were using. Ooh, fizz, fizz, fizz. Very nice. See how, oh gosh, I can really smell it now. put this bad boy in this bowl over here. Get it ready for some dippers. Ooh. Now you can eat this hot, like this fondue, or once you, like if you store it in the refrigerator, you can spread it on some bread. I really like it on toast. It's kind of what I've had for breakfast the last couple days. And it's really good. And put maybe a little smoked salt or something on it. Super tasty. So now I have some dippers here. You can use like carrot sticks, you can use whatever, but I have some broccoli heads. You can also lightly steam these if you don't like them raw, but I mean, I like raw broccoli, I don't care. And it's really good, like cutting this very savory, excuse me, oh my gosh, the beer's got me burping. But it cuts this really savory cheese sauce and it's kind of just crunchy and nice. I really like it. You can also have some toasted bread here. I have some olive bread because I love olives. So we'll put some of that on here. Ooh. Maybe like a rosemary bread would be really good with this. I don't know if you can find that near you. All right. And then for that sweet savory combo, I have some apple slices, or chopped apples, not slices. I mean, you can have slices too. You can just dip like chips, but I like using the fondue forks. It makes me feel fancy. And if you don't have any, you can find some usually at like a thrift store or something. You don't even need a full fondue set. Just get these cute little forks. They're kind of amazing. And just keep them on hand. You can put whatever fondue and then just dip them, have them for a party, super festive. So here is our fondue, our white bean beer fondue. And now I'm going to try some with both of these. These are both mine now. So I'll do some apple because I do really like that sweet with the savory. We'll dunk. Oh, it just coats it so nicely. So nicely. Hopefully it's not too hot. Woo. Oh man. I made another batch of this before and kind of messed up the video. This batch is better than that one and I'm quite excited about it. Oh, with that apple. And green apples are really good for this too because they're like really tart. So if you're into that kind of thing, I suggest getting green apples. All right, you guys. So like I said, I'll have this recipe on veganyackatack.com just for you. Link in my description. It comes from Vegan Bowl Attack, the white bean beer fondue. So make this for your parties. Subscribe below because I'm coming out with a bunch of new videos. I've been kind of consistent, right? That's awesome, maybe. And you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, whatever, at Vegan Yack Attack. So give me a thumbs up and I'll see you guys later.